flirted with Milton Williams and Josh Sweat.
Well,
That was flirted with.
Kinlaw.
They got Kinlaw instead.
How about that? 3-year, $45 million deal.
Sweat's going to be one of the best signings of free agency.
Yeah.
Josh Sweat can rush the passer. Whoever gets him, the dude's just a bona fide pass rusher.
Go to Detroit.
And there it is, probably the easiest signing to predict this free agency cycle. Josh Sweat signs with the Arizona Cardinals, coming over from Philadelphia, formerly with Jonathan Gannon. It's a 4-year deal worth up to $76.4 million with $41 million in guarantees, which works out to be about $19.1 million APY. Great signing at a position of desperate need. We had nothing going on the edge. So signing Josh Sweat, he becomes our number one edge rusher. He's our closer. He will be our closer in the 2025 season. I'm very sure of that. He ranked third in CBS's free agency rankings. He ranked 5th in ESPN's free agency rankings, and he ranked 10th in PFF's free agent rankings. So this guy was like a unanimous top 5 free agent target. You know, the guys ahead of him, it was like just sort of positional value. It was like Sam Darnold being a quarterback, or like a T. Higgins, noted on some before he got tagged, or like a Trey Smith before he got tagged, and also Chris Godwin on some of the rankings was ahead of Josh Sweat. Milton Williams was only ahead of Sweat on the PFF rankings, whereas CBS and ESPN both had Josh Sweat ahead of Milton. A lot of people did really like this signing. I saw a lot of A's, a lot of B's. I saw one D. I'm not going to name the guy who gave it a D. Probably find that yourself. But guys like Warren Sharp, they loved the move. Guys like the Goat House, who's, you know, really tapped into making NFL content, he loved the move. You know, the guys from The Athletic, Mina Kimes was, she's on ESPN, but she joined The Athletic show with Robert Mays and Derek Klassen. They both loved the move. What's not to love about the move, guys? Like, if you look at other contracts around the league, like Dayo Odeyingbo got $16 million APY, Chase Young got $17 million APY, Khalil Mack, who's 34 years old, got $18 million APY, and Harold Landry, who had the worst pass rush win rate in the league, got $16.5 million. Like a washed pass rusher. A great deal. Like, you had teams projecting, or fan bases projecting, Josh Sweat getting $22 million APY. We got him for 19.1, under $20 million, which is phenomenal value. You know, Jonathan Grenard was the guy I was comparing his contract to, and, you know, the Vikings are very happy they got Jonathan Grenard for $19 million. And I think the Cardinals should and will be very happy with Josh Sweat at $19 million APY. You can see other fan bases as well wanted Josh Sweat. You know, what they're saying now might be different, but Lions fans wanted him. Patriots fans wanted him. Patriots fans wanted him at $22 million APY. You know, Bears fans wanted him. And then you can look at Eagles fans, all very sad to see Josh Sweat leave, all thanking him for his service for the team, helping them win a Super Bowl. They do not, and I'm telling you, they do not win a Super Bowl without Josh Sweat, who should have been the Super Bowl MVP. A concern about Josh Sweat as to why was he available? Why was he, you know, not signed by Philadelphia again? Well, they were limited with cap as is. The following year, they were also bottom 5 in cap space as well. So they didn't have money to re-sign all these guys. They knew they were going to lose guys like this, which is why they drafted, knowing that they were going to lose Josh Sweat, knowing they were going to lose Milton Williams. You can have a look at their draft classes if you want more information on that. But they wanted and needed to bring back Zach Bourne. He got $17.5 million APY, so that was their number one. Obviously, scheme fit wise, they weren't sure if Josh Sweat was going to fit into Fangio's system, which is why they sort of reworked his deal going into the last year. And pretty clearly, they needed him. They do not win that Super Bowl without him. And then another reason why sort of teams were, or fans, teams, whatever, were a bit weary of Josh Sweat was his knee injury. Now, guys, don't get it twisted. This knee injury occurred in high school. Like, this was a long time ago. The injury was extremely severe though. He dislocated his knee. In addition, he tore his ACL, he tore his MCL, and he tore his PCL. So he was in a wheelchair after the surgery. He had doctors telling him he would never play again. And despite this, teams or colleges were still heavily recruiting him. He came out, he still started as a freshman. He still played all of his college ball. He then went to the combine. He killed the combine. He had an incredible RAS score at the time, 35th overall from all sort of edge defenders for that RAS score. Elite in speed, elite in agility, elite in explosion. Look, usually what you're looking for with edge rushers is for their 10-yard split to be 1.61 or less. And you can see with Josh Sweat well under that mark, elite in speed, elite in agility, and elite in explosion. And I'm pretty sure he had the fastest 40 time for all edge defenders during the combine as well. You can see as well, Josh Sweat had his best year under Jonathan Gannon in 2022. He had 51 pressures, he had 15 sacks, which seriously, we don't have anything like that currently on the team. So a huge upgrade coming in on the edge position, and that familiarity with Jonathan Gannon. I think Josh Sweat is going to, like I said, he's going to be our closer. He's our number one edge player. He might not be elite, but guess what, guys? Elite pass rushers aren't available in free agency. So this is the sort of top tier edge rusher you're going to get that comes available in free agency, and it's a big upgrade to what we currently have. If you look at sort of his stats and grades from last year, 66 total pressures. Again, no one's sniffing that on our team currently. 11 sacks. You saw what he did in the Super Bowl. The year prior, he had 70 total pressures, 8 sacks. Like, this guy knows how to find the quarterback. Like, his last 4 years, over 46 pressures. His last 4 years, over 8 sacks. Huge upgrade to the room. Great get for the Arizona Cardinals. You can also see when the games are most important, Josh Sweat is right there. Postseason pressures since 2022, Josh Sweat is right there. He's top 5 in postseason pressures. He's behind some guys like Chris Jones, Nick Bosa, George Karlaftis, who, the Chiefs guys have obviously played more games in the postseason than the Eagles have, so there's that. And Nick Bosa, obviously, I don't think Josh Sweat is at a Nick Bosa level when Nick Bosa at his prime, but Josh Sweat is still really, really good. So he knows how to deliver when, the pressure's on. With all that being said, this is an A+. This is a home run type of signing at a position we desperately needed. Like, our edge room was Victor Dumukeji, Julian Okwara. Like, these guys are not going to be signed to teams during the free agency period. They're going to be like late additions. If they even make teams, I would be genuinely surprised. They're going to be guys that float around on practice squads. They're going to float around the league. They're not starting quality pass rushers. Josh Sweat is as good, like I said, is as good as it will get in terms of an edge rusher hitting the open market. Philly was in a unique position where they've paid a lot of their guys. Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, the odd men out, who are also probably the best performing players in the Super Bowl. So, again, if you're looking at some negatives about Josh Sweat, I'm telling you, go turn on the tape. Go watch Josh Sweat play and see what you come away with. I guarantee you're not going to come away with many negatives. This guy is a great player. He's a great run defender. He's a great pass rusher. He does it all. He plays with violence. He plays with aggression. This is the type of player that also can change a losing culture around. This guy's been in Philly for years. He's seen Philadelphia obviously win a Super Bowl, go to a Super Bowl. He's been questioned about mentoring younger players, and he's been an open book, telling them whatever they need to know, answering any sort of questions they have. So not only will he be a presence as a leader in the locker room, he's going to bring a winning culture over to the Arizona Cardinals, which we've been missing for 10 years, if we're being honest. Phenomenal signing. Love this signing. Extremely happy about it. And let me know what you guys think down below about it. Plenty more videos coming. A bit delayed with the videos in terms of the free agent guys, just because I wanted to sort of put together a well-researched video about these guys, put as much information as I can about them. But I will be doing a video on every single signing we do, even the small ones like Akeem Davis-Gaither. We recently just, as I'm recording, we signed Dalvin Tomlinson from the Cleveland Browns, who was cut to make room for that massive Myles Garrett contract. So stick around, a lot more stuff coming. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, I feel like I'm ready to go tomorrow. I don't know. I feel like